Hello there, I'm Lloyd Evans. Welcome to The Bunker. It's time for another voicemail. Today's voicemail is from an anonymous caller. Let's listen to what they have to say.
Hi Lloyd, I'm a big fan of your work. Really appreciate everything you do. I had a question on do you have any thoughts on the reluctance to return to in-person by many JWs and whether this could lead to a collapse or a crisis within the organization? I'm currently PIMO, and in my congregation, it's 50-50 on a good day, Zoom and in person. Most of the time, it's closer to 30% in person, 70% on Zoom. From reading the XJW subreddit, it looks like this is the case in many congregations around the world. So I was just curious if you had any thoughts on this. Feel free to use this recording for one of your videos. Thank you.
Thank you. I will use this recording for one of my videos because it's an interesting subject. Are we nearing a collapse or crisis due to an apparent reluctance on the part of Jehovah's Witnesses to attend their Kingdom Hall meetings in person? It's difficult to say, and I take your point about going on Reddit and seeing what experience other people have had. I think there's a little bit of a danger sometimes of confirmation bias. In other words, if you are an ex-Jehovah's Witness, PIMO, and for those of you who don't know, PIMO stands for physically in, mentally out. If you are an awakened Jehovah's Witness and you're in the organization to keep family happy, etc., and in your local congregation it's brilliantly attended, are you necessarily going to put a post on social media about it? Probably not. Whereas if you're in that situation and it's noticeable that, let's say, 30% of your congregation are actually turning up to in-person meetings now that they can, which it sounds like is mostly the case for you, and, you know, on a good day, it's 50-50, as you say, then you might be more tempted to make a post on Reddit. And because it's good news, isn't it? When we have good news, it's human nature to want to share it. When we have bad news or news that doesn't really tell us much, maybe we'll feel less inclined to share it. And so, yes, I do worry about, or I don't worry about it. Doesn't keep me awake at night, but I would want as much as possible to avoid confirmation bias, because it's so easy, isn't it, to jump to conclusions about the state of Jehovah's Witnesses worldwide based on a few hand-picked examples. That said, it really wouldn't surprise me if COVID has changed the Jehovah's Witness religion permanently in terms of making the prospect of attending a Kingdom Hall meeting in person less appealing once there's an option. Because now we have, quote unquote, hybrid Kingdom Hall meetings where you can, if you want, attend via Zoom. Obviously, if you attend via Zoom, there's going to be less effort involved. You don't have to travel. You could, depending on your local congregation, take a few liberties in perhaps turning the microphone off, maybe even turning the camera off, depending on how much the Zoom call is policed by elders. There's all sorts of reasons why you would prefer, I think, even as a believing Jehovah's Witness, to not go to your Kingdom Hall in person and instead attend via Zoom. And it wouldn't surprise me if that's now the case. If given an option, a majority of Jehovah's Witnesses in many congregations are saying, you know what, can't be bothered putting more fuel in the car, can't be bothered driving 20, 30, perhaps 40 or 50 minutes to the Kingdom Hall, because bear in mind they've been merging congregations now so that people have to travel further. Can't be bothered with all of that. I'm going to have my shirt and tie on and my boxer shorts and my slippers, and I'm going to go on Zoom and just do this more easily, do this whole Jehovah's Witness thing the easiest way possible. Wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. Would that in and of itself lead to a collapse or a crisis? Well, I've already made a video, and perhaps Tibor will share a thumbnail, about the prospect of the Kingdom Halls being sold, and how, even though there are multiple drawbacks to doing this, once it's done, you can't undo it, being the main drawback. And it would irrevocably shrink the organization in terms of its property portfolio, its footprint in terms of real estate. There would also be benefits to doing it in terms of there being a cash windfall. And one excuse that the organization might have, or not so much an excuse, one incentive to selling the Kingdom Halls or selling more Kingdom Halls or coming up with an entirely new way of worshipping as a Jehovah's Witness, where perhaps instead they just have more assemblies and conventions. One incentive might be if they can point to the attendance figures and say, look, now that we're doing hybrid meetings, no one's attending, or very few people are attending, or the attendance has dramatically fallen. I wouldn't necessarily call that a crisis. It would perhaps be forcing their hand to do something that they otherwise wouldn't feel inclined to do. I guess we will learn more in the coming months or maybe even years if we just keep our ear to the ground and see what noises are coming out of the organization. Because make no mistake, if there's something wrong, if the attendance figures are so low that they are of concern to the governing body, they are going to let us know about it. One way or the other, there's going to be something said in a JW broadcasting episode, in a governing body update, telling witnesses to attend, or perhaps making it so that instead of it being purely optional, it's optional, but we'd really prefer you to attend, or actually, unless you have an actual health reason to not attend, we want you to attend. So there are all sorts of, how can I put it? There's a process that they can go down in terms of trying to correct the situation before they need to hit the nuclear button, before they need to start taking drastic measures. But it will be very, very interesting, and I'm fascinated with this particular question of how the organization recovers post-COVID. It'll be very, very interesting to see how things develop, whether the attendance is an issue or whether it's just an anomaly. And if it is an issue, it will be fascinating to see how the organization reacts. I would love it if they do end up selling all their Kingdom Halls, because even if it gave them a cash windfall, and I don't particularly like the idea of the organization getting a windfall of anything other than lawsuits and convictions, even though it would give them an influx of revenue, ultimately it would be a backward step. Ultimately, the religion that I grew up in, that I think of as a global powerhouse, as a global, real estate empire, it would be over. It would be over in terms of its halcyon days where it was all about opening up new branches, opening up new kingdom halls, and expanding physically. So, yeah, let's just, rather than race to conclusions, as tempting as that may be, and I realize that's not what you're doing, you're just asking the question, rather than racing to conclusions, let's just keep our ears to the ground and see what noises come out of this organization. And you can be sure that if there is a problem, they will squeal. And when they squeal, if they squeal, I will be covering it as quickly as possible on this channel. So I hope that answers your question. I hope I've been remotely useful in my thoughts. Don't forget that if you would like to leave a voicemail, the thing to do is go to speakpipe.com/Cedars, remembering to indicate clearly if you don't want me to cover your message or broadcast it rather on the channel. But that's about all I have time for. Thank you so much for watching.